What is secreto de sumario, or summary secret? In Spain, certain legal proceedings, especially criminal investigations, can be placed under a secrecy order known as secreto de sumario. This is governed by the Ley de Enjuiciamiento Criminal, (LCRIM), the Spanish Criminal Procedure Act. Judicial Order of Secrecy. Under Articles 301 through 302 of the LCRIM, a judge can declare an investigation secret for a specified period, often up to 1 month with possible renewals. Restrictions. During that period, the police, the Guardia Civil, prosecutors, and others involved must not disclose details of the investigation. The public and even defense lawyers typically cannot access the file. Consequences. Violating secrecy can result in disciplinary or criminal charges. Would secreto de sumario apply in a standard missing person case? Generally, no. In Spain, or its autonomous regions like the Canary Islands, a missing person case does not automatically trigger secreto de sumario. Authorities typically reserve it for situations where there is clear suspicion of criminal activity, homicide, kidnapping, abduction. Other special circumstances warranting confidentiality, e.g., protecting witnesses or preventing evidence tampering. When someone vanishes without initial signs of foul play, the investigation is often more open. Law enforcement would share vital clues or data, like CCTV captures, phone ping records, or last known sightings, to help in finding the missing person. The J. Slater case. Could secreto de sumario have been imposed? We have no official record that secrecy was formally declared in J. Slater's case. If a judge had issued such an order, the following would apply. All formal records and investigative details would be sealed. Guardia Civil and other investigators would be barred from sharing specifics. Neither the public nor, in many instances, legal teams outside the direct investigation would have access to the file. Why it's hard to verify ongoing or past secrecy. If an order was in place but later lifted, documents might have been shared internally without being made public. No public documentation. Some cases, especially lower-profile ones, are not widely publicized or show up in legal databases. Given what we know, it's unclear whether a secrecy order ever existed for J. Slater. Only official court documents or a statement by the judge or civil guard could confirm it. Why secreto de sumario might be lifted or maintained. Duration and limitations. Temporary measure. A judge can't impose secreto de sumario indefinitely without justification. Periodic review. The judge must review extensions and provide reasons for continuing secrecy. Fair trial principles. Secrecy must end at least before trial to respect the defendant's right to defense. Judge's discretion. A judge weighs many factors, like the risk of evidence tampering or witness intimidation, before deciding if secrecy is necessary. Even if there's a foreign coroner's inquest, Spain's judge is not obliged to lift secrecy unless they feel it no longer serves the investigation. Cause of death versus criminal suspicion. Accidental and natural causes. If investigators conclude the death resulted from an accident or non-criminal circumstances, there's little reason to maintain secrecy. Foul play. Suspected. If homicide or criminal involvement is suspected, secrecy typically remains until the investigation is complete or no longer at risk. With J. Slater's death reportedly deemed an accident by the Spanish authorities, it is less likely, though not impossible, that secrecy would remain in force, especially this long after the initial investigation. Conclusion. Secreto de sumario is a powerful legal tool in the Spanish justice system, ensuring the integrity of investigations by preventing leaks and preserving key evidence. In a normal missing persons case, or one ruled an accident, it's not usually applied, or if it was imposed, would likely be lifted once foul play was ruled out. In J. Slater's situation, there's no public confirmation that secreto de sumario was ever declared. If it had been, we'd expect evidence of a legal gag on sharing details of the investigation. With official conclusions pointing toward an accidental death, it's unlikely that an extraordinary secrecy order remains in effect. Ultimately, absent a formal statement or court filing, we can't say for certain whether a secrecy order was imposed or how long it may have lasted. Nonetheless, understanding secreto de sumario gives us insight into why and how Spanish authorities sometimes conduct investigations behind closed doors, and why, in many missing person cases, they do not. Thank you for listening. I hope this explanation helps clarify how secreto de sumario can come into play under Spanish law, and how it might have related or not to the J. Slater case.